Welcome back. We are on the review table again today for another rifle review, and I do apologize for the wind. It never fails. It seems like once I finally get the time to make a review, the weather just does not cooperate. But if you've watched this channel for any length of time, you know that we shoot in all weather conditions here at the Hyde to see how well these guns actually function. So this here, we're going to be taking a look at a full rifle from Bear Creek Arsenal. Now, full disclosure, they did not send this rifle. This was purchased by channel funds. So we're going to take a unbiased look at this, as we do with all of our reviews, and see what this thing can do. Now, I have reviewed the 7.62x39 uppers before, and kind of let you in on a little secret. That is what this one is also chambered in, is by 39. And the upper that I reviewed in the past was absolutely phenomenal. That thing shot, I mean, lights out for by 39. I was extremely impressed. Now this one here, like I said, is a full rifle, so it's got one of their lowers also, and as you can see here, one of their BCA lowers with a big bear on the side there. But nonetheless, pretty anxious to see how well it will do on paper as compared to the upper that I reviewed, gosh, what, probably 3 years ago now. But I have ran rounds through this. I've got about 120 rounds through it thus far, and I was using this Red Army standard 122 grain FMJ stuff, and there has not been one issue at all with this gun as far as functionality. Now, I have been using the Duramag C Products magazines. These are 20 rounders. These are by far my favorite by 39 magazines. When I have used these, I have had no feeding issues, extraction, stovepiping, nothing. I mean, it is ran 100%. So kind of take that as a little bit of a data point for you guys looking to maybe get into this caliber. Usually this right here is where the rubber is going to meet the road. Whether or not your rig is going to be reliable or not is going to be through the magazine system that you choose. And I have had the best luck out of these Duramags. So kind of take that with a grain of salt. Hopefully that'll help you guys get started if you're looking to get into by 39. Now, this is a 16-inch carbine, and the barrel, I would almost call it a, it's definitely an H-bar profile. You can see the gas block right here. That barrel is a chunk all the way back to the receiver. Now, it does step down a little bit, of course, here after the gas block, so you can kind of see that, but it's basically .750 all the way out to the muzzle. Now, when this thing shipped, it did ship with Bear Creek spiral flash hider, but I have been actually shooting this a little bit suppressed, believe it or not. So I put one of my QD mounts on there, so we are going to get some suppressed shooting with this on camera as well, because I picked up a box of Brown Bear 7.62x39 Subsonic. So we're going to take a few shots of this downrange after we get our accuracy testing done, or our precision testing rather. But needless to say, basic mil-spec parts kit, A2 grip, stock, nothing out of the way there. The handguard is standard Bear Creek, like all the other handguards they sell. You know, it's not bad. You do get really good purchase on this. I like how you're able to really get a nice grip on the handguard with this design, since they've omitted the top rail section over this, and you don't need it, so, or I don't anyway. I do like that. This is one of their side chargers, which I thought was kind of fitting for by 39. I've not had an issue with it yet. It has functioned just fine. The let's get a pull weight on this so you guys can kind of see that from the factory. And it's not a bad trigger, not a great trigger, but so about 6 pounds, which is about what you'd expect from a standard mil-spec unit. So nothing really out of the way there. I don't mind that a bit. Let's see what the weight is as configured. I mean, that barrel, guys, that barrel is a chunk. I am not gonna lie. And I think my scale is not going to work. I'll have to put the weight of this gun up in the top corner. Looks like my battery's dead in my scale, but no worries on that. It does have a carbine length gas system. No issues with that. I mean, the carbine or the recoil impulse is a little stout, but that's kind of what you would expect from the caliber and the recoil system, the gas system. The loads we are going to be trying out today, like I said, we're going to try some of this Red Army Standard. I got some Wolf Military Classic. Some of this stuff at the local gun shop, BSP. I've never seen this stuff before in my life, but it's also 122 grain FMJ. And I also managed to pick up some Hornady Black. So this is a 123 grain SST load. So it'll be interesting to see if that'll post a group at 110 yards. And then after that, we're going to try some of these Subsonics. I'm really anxious to see if it will actually cycle these. I don't know. It might. The jury's still out, but we're definitely going to find out. This is 196 grain FMJ, so pretty anxious to see how well those will do. But let me get this thing set up over on the bench, and we'll get some rounds downrange. Okay, guys, we got the rifle moved over here onto the bench. We're going to try 5 of these Red Army Standard rounds here, 122 grain FMJ. Try 5 of these at 110 yards first and see what happens. I've got the 2.5 by 10 power Sight Mark Core scope. So fingers crossed, see what it does. Alright, doesn't look too bad through the scope. I'm going to let it cool down for a few minutes, and then we're going to try 5 of these BSP rounds that I've never heard of. We'll put these on target and see what happens with these. Alright, so we got 5 of these BSP. This is also a 122 grain FMJ. Put 5 of these on paper and see what happens. Of course, the wind's going to kick up as soon as we started shooting, but we make the best with what we got. Okay, doesn't look too terrible, especially for a round that I've never not only seen before, but never shot before either. So, all right, so we'll let the barrel cool for a couple minutes, and we're going to try some of these Hornady Black. All right, so Hornady Black, this is that 123 grain SST. Now they're saying 2350 feet per second at the muzzle, so this stuff is definitely different from your standard steel case loads. These are brass case, so let's see if they fare any better for us here. Three really good shots. I don't know what happened with those other 2 there on the bottom right, but nonetheless, still a group. Let's finish this off with some good old Wolf. Definitely got to get some Wolf in this review. So this is 124 grain hollow point. Very interesting stuff there. They had a little bit of this left up at the local gun shop, so I figured I'd grab a couple of boxes of this to try. But let the barrel cool, see what these do. Okay, so 5 of our Wolf Military Classic 124 grain hollow point. So this could be a cheaper hunting load, perhaps. I'm not really sure on the expansion capabilities of their hollow point projectiles, but it is possible. But let's see if they will post a group for us. Looks pretty good through the scope. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera. I'll run down, grab our target, and let's see how we did. All right, I ran down, grabbed our target. Let's see what we got going on here. So our first group was shot with this Red Army Standard, and each one of these boxes is roughly an inch. So about an inch and a half there, I'd say. So not terrible, not terrible. This was that BSP stuff, also 122 grain stuff, and we've got 3 basically in the same hole, and then we've got 2 outliers over here on the left. Our Hornady Black, not sure what the deal was with these 2. Now granted, guys, I am only human. I suck at shooting apparently, so I don't know why those didn't get put over there with the other 3. Same with our BSP ammo. But nonetheless, that's what we ended up with. And then finally, our Wolf Military Classic, the 124 grain hollow point stuff. We had, I believe this is 2 shots right here. And then we had 1 guy over here on the left. So I'm going to say about an 1.5 to 2 inch groups. And honestly, I mean, maybe with the exception of this Hornady Black, the rest of this is just steel case ammo. I'll take that any day of the week. I think this is a total win. But one thing that you guys probably also noticed is there was no failures of any kind. That is the main thing. Like I said, with these Duramags, I have not had any issues at all out of these rifles. None. Absolutely none. So I think to finish this review up, let's slap the can on it. We're going to get some shots out there on the barricade, and we'll get some final thoughts on this thing. All right, so we moved over here to the barricade. We're at about 80, 85 yards from the first backstop. We're going to shoot some steel. I've got just some of the Red Army Standard ammunition, the 122 grain FMJ loaded up first, so you guys can get kind of an idea between how it sounds versus our Subsonic stuff. So I have shot a little bit of this suppressed in the past. You guys may remember my night vision video, the NV100 Commander. I used this actual rifle for that review, and it done great. So let's see what happens. Try some out at 210. Well, I guess it'd be about 150 from here. There we go. And as you guys can see, I mean, it is 100% with your standard supersonic ammunition. So I guess the moment of truth is going to be our subsonic stuff. So again, I have not shot any of this stuff before, so I'm really anxious to see if it's even going to cycle. So let's see here. Oh my God. There was one misloaded. Guys, that was awesome. Let me go ahead and pause the camera. I am going to load up the rest of that box. I've got to go ahead and shoot it. That was just a ton of fun. All right, guys, I got our last 10 rounds loaded. I wasn't planning on shooting all of it because this stuff has went up in price considerably. When this stuff came out, it was like $9 a box. It's around $23 a box now. But I'm here to tell you guys, this is an absolute riot. Jeez, I'm honestly at a loss for words. I cannot believe it cycled it and even locked the bolt back. But guys, I tell you what, you can get these rifles pretty darn cheap. This one was less than, I think, 370 bucks shipped. So, I mean, keep your eye out. If you're looking for a Buy 39 rifle, I honestly think the Buy 39 stuff that BCA puts out is some of the best you could buy. I have not had a moment's trouble out of all of it. One key takeaway from this is that all of the new production 7.62 by 39 uppers with the bolt carriers are going to have the enhanced firing pins already in them, so you don't have to change anything. And as you can see, it ran every bit of that steel cased ammo, I mean, flawlessly. So it's almost at, gosh, what, about 200 rounds, with 20 of those being suppressed subsonics, and has not missed a beat. But if you're in the market for a Buy 39 AR, definitely take a look at one of these or one of their uppers. I think it's a very good buy, especially when you get into some of their deal bins. You can get them ridiculously cheap. The Duramags for magazines are by far, in my opinion, the way to go. I really like the 20 rounders. I know they make a 30, but I did have a 30 at one time, and I did have some issues with it. I have had zero problems out of the 20s. So just kind of take that with a grain of salt. Hopefully that'll help you guys make some decisions going forward if you're in the market for one of these types of rifles. But if you got anything else, please post it up below. Be sure to check out the campsite page. I'll have a link to that in the description below. As I keep going on, I'm going to be posting more deals, coupon codes, so on and so forth to that, so be sure you look at it. But please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help the channel. As always, guys, shoot straight. Later.